Hello and welcome along to a video that I should have made but didn't, and this is on the Volvo 480. I'll catch you up and show you what I've been up to. So the reason I say that it's a video that I should have made and I haven't is because I ended up doing quite a bit of work over the past couple of days on the Volvo and just didn't record any of it because, to be honest, it really slows down the progress, and I wanted to try to get ahead a little bit. So to give you an idea where we're at, if you remember, the rear axle is pretty much back in place. The brake calipers are on. Let me take that off, I'll show you. We've still got a few bits to finish off, button up, that kind of stuff. Obviously put the new discs and pads on, but you can see the calipers in place. Little things like doing up the bolts to the proper tension, that kind of thing. But one major thing that you've probably seen on Facebook is the rear bumper is on and attached. I do have a couple of little bits to finish off on that because I didn't attach the lower metal bars that run along here, so I need to do that, finish those off. I've got a lot of bulbs on the way because I'm effectively going to change the bulbs in all of it because, let's face it, it's sat around a long time. Some of the bulbs were out and it's just worth doing that. Now, I did mention that I've replaced the number plate bulbs. You can see they're LEDs now. They're not held in great. I need to put another screw. You can actually see this one does need that second screw to hold it into place into the plastic, but I think they're a reasonable replacement. So I've done that. Also trying to get the door card, but unfortunately I'm still getting leaks, and I think the culprit is this window seal here. I think what's happening is we're getting water tracking in down inside, which is then passing on the inside of the door, and what I found was it was actually catching the door card, which is cardboard, and then going inside. Let's open the car up and I'll show you. And I'm expecting to find water inside because it has rained a bit. That must have dried out because we've got a lovely sunny morning for a change, but what's happening is water, I think, is coming down the inside of here and then exiting through the bottom of the door card, which is about here, and then water, I can see normally water on the top of this seal. If you remember, I've replaced this seal, and it then goes down and pools in the bottom. You can see down the bottom there a little bit of a water tide mark. Now, before I put the interior in, this has to be sorted. I have to say, by the way, thank you to Jeff once again helping me out. He has located a couple of plastic door card inserts for me which fit in nicely like so, which will help to keep everything watertight once I have sorted the leaking window problem. I'm going to order a new external rubber strip and try that and see if I can really find where that is coming from, because that's a major problem for me at the moment. I do not want to do the interior of the car until we have that water leak problem solved. I don't want any of the interior to get too badly damaged with that. So that's on order at the moment. Coming round to the rear, you will notice something. We have an exhaust pipe sticking out, and that is because yesterday I spent quite a bit of time fitting the new exhaust. Now it's not in its proper position at the minute, I haven't finished it, but you can see we've got the rear silencer in place. The pipe goes up and over the rear cross member, down and along into the two silencers that sit down the middle, and then onto the front section, which is where the catalytic converter is and the lambda sensor. There's our lambda sensor there. That's the new replacement one I've put in. That took a lot of doing getting the old one out. It was really seized in place, so using a lot of heat and WD-40 managed to get that out. It's a very long cable on it. The lambda sensor, actually the cable goes down right across the front and actually goes up on the inside of the front bumper towards where the battery sits. Very long cable on that. Now I haven't tightened the bolts up onto the catalytic converter fully yet. I do actually have to finish the exhaust. I didn't manage to get it all done, so it's not all tightened up and held in properly yet, but you can see the general principle. You can see that's hanging down because that's not fastened up yet, but at least we've now got an exhaust pretty much in place. I've also been checking up a lot on my spare parts as well. I've got quite a few that are ready to go. Been checking through a lot of the plastic trim pieces I've got. That's the old window motor and assembly. That's just to get rid of. If anyone does want that, just drop me a note. I'll send it to you, no problem. And a lot of the other parts. Oh, there's the old lambda sensor, and you can see on a huge piece of cable. Dual connector on the lambda sensor. We've got a single sort of spade connector there, and then one of the push fit connectors, and that's how it fastens in the bonnet. Like I say, the lights, I've ordered a load of new bulbs so that I can just refresh all of them and put them all back together, knowing that they've got brand new bulbs in them for getting to the exciting bit of putting power back onto the car, which is something that I'm really quite excited about, being able to get the battery back on and get the car energized again. Unfortunately, on the inside of it, it looks really quite messy because we've got so much of the interior bodywork, the interior part of the car in bits. But like I say, as soon as the leak problem on the driver's door is solved, then I'll be happy to get the interior back together and it'll start to shape up again, a bit like a car. I've also had a bit of progress as well. If you remember, I did a very stupid thing and I caused some damage whilst I was repairing one of the other cars. You can see one of our DRLs got damaged, and I've managed to buy well, it's a damaged replacement for that, so I'll be able to fit that. Thanks a lot to Keith on the Volvo 480 Facebook group. I'll put a link down to the group if you are interested, or if you're not a member, join up if you've got anything relating to Volvo 480s. The guys on there are really good with that, so I'm going to be able to get that fixed as well, and again changing all of the bulbs in the front too. And here's a box of bulbs that just arrived. Now I matched these bulbs up using the Volvo 480 forums. I think it was Jeff actually that put a long post on there with all the different types of bulbs that you need. We've got a couple of headlamp bulbs, H4s. What's this? Bulb holders, is it? Oh yeah, these are the tiny little panel bulbs. So I got a couple of those as well, because I don't know how many of those I'm going to need. And a load of other little miscellaneous bulbs. BA15S, quite a lot of those BA15Ss, because that's quite a common bulb for this car. That's used on the majority of the lights on the rear, things like that. Now I have ordered to try out a couple of LED daylight running bulbs, because they do run very hot and that's not great for the front lenses, so I have ordered a couple of those. Those will be arriving soon. There we go, there's a nice selection of bulbs ready to go in. So there we go, I told you it was a bit of an update. Unfortunately I haven't videoed most of these bits of work, but they're slowly getting there with the car, and we'll get it on the road eventually, I promise. This year is the year that we're going to get this car driving and running, and it's getting closer and closer. The weather's starting to get nice. You can see it's a lovely sunny day here in the UK, and that does encourage me to get out and do a little bit more to your car. I hope you're doing the same with yours. If you're working on a car or you've got a car project, put a comment down the bottom, put a link to your YouTube channel. Would love to hear from you and see what you're working on this summer as well. So put those down in the comments, would love to hear from you, and otherwise I'll see you in the next video.